All right, guys, before we actually get into the footage of the 4Runner, I want to show you the service history of this, and more importantly, recent service history. Um, so my friend that previously owned this he bought this vehicle as he had a vehicle on order, not a Toyota, but he bought this in the meantime until his vehicle was completed. So he spends a ton of money servicing his vehicles. He keeps them all perfect, and in my opinion, over services them and just goes above and beyond. So when he got the truck from us soon after, what he does is he'll bring it in Toyota and tell them, anything you find, do. I mean, he literally tells them anything that it needs. And you tell a Toyota dealer, you tell any dealership that with an open checkbook, they're gonna do whatever. So this is a 253,818 service. Okay, so these are all very, very recent, but we're gonna have still images of these service records for you guys on our website, davisautosports.com. But just anything and absolutely everything that possibly could get done during that time. Just shy of $3,300 on that service. And he only gets his vehicle's dealer service. If it's a Porsche, it's at the Porsche dealership. If it's in this case, Toyota, it's at the Toyota dealership. So here's another service, all obviously OEM parts, $702. Here's a major service right here with engine seals. And also, he's the type of guy, 2 calipers needed. They were questionable. He gets all calipers, all pads, everything done. Using all OEM stuff is obviously extremely expensive. Not to mention rear main seal and all that sort of stuff. But this service came in right at $6,055. One of the major items on this, and it's really good for you guys to know, on the 4Runner Sports, they have a very high-end shock, and he replaced them with factory shocks and didn't change the type of shock. So he's got $838 just in 2 rear shocks, just in parts. So that's a $6,000 service right there. Have another service here, a very recent service of oil and some light bulb stuff like that, and a whopping $170. So quick recap: 3,300, 700, 6,000, and also just installed Michelin top of the line tires at just shy of 1,300 with a full multi-point inspection that was just done as well, previous to doing the new radiator and alignment. So we're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about $13,000 worth of services just since 253,000 miles, and we have a ton of services since or prior to that as well. So what we're going to do real quick, guys, is get our steady cam on, and I'm going to bring you guys outside to see the actual 4Runner, most importantly, because this thing is, I'm going to turn this Cherokee off real quick. Just bear with me. So here, at Davis Autosports, we sell a lot of 4Runners, but we are known to sell them either with very, very low mileage or restored. And this This is the nicest 200,000+ truck I've ever seen. Just condition wise, much less mechanical. And when we sold the truck to him, by no means did it need any of that stuff. It didn't need a daggone thing, but he just, that's what he does. But we had already serviced this truck without going completely overboard. All sorts of stuff in addition to all that. So, but you were looking at, in my opinion, it's 258,000 miles, and it is absolutely incredible how nice this truck shows. Brand new. I'll tell you, this is gonna sum it up. The spare tire underneath this is also brand new. That's just, and the thing is, it's one thing to do that on a $40,000-$50,000 dollar truck, but that just goes to show just a beautiful, beautiful truck. So another thing that he did in his ownership as well is got a bunch of keys done. So when this truck was here, when we sold it to him, we did our full paint correction on it. Paint's in phenomenal condition. And when I tell you these Michelin tires are new, they're literally brand spanking new. Just shy of $1,300 on those tires. Just beautiful. This truck looks and drives like a 20,000 mile truck. I've seen some people with 20,000 miles on their truck that it didn't look this nice. Another thing that's not on those service records that he actually had done is he got a brand new exhaust system on it, and it didn't need it at all. Not even remotely close to needing it, but he got one. So it's got a brand new exhaust, and that wasn't on those service records either. It's just incredible how nice this truck is. Rocker panels are perfect. This is a factory sport edition. There's your caliper and new brakes. Just look at that gloss and shine on that paint. All the belt moldings, super clean, and everything is in phenomenal condition. This is going to be one of those 4Runners that you see out there that reaches that 400, 500, 600,000 mile mark, because they will easily reach that if you service them and take care of them. And it's almost a thing it's the only make of vehicle where it's within the Toyota industry of owners, that is. It's almost a cool thing that how many miles you have on your Toyota. Where other vehicles, it's not so cool, because that means it's going to die soon, but not Toyota. If you get on some of the Toyota forums, there's threads. If you're not familiar with forums, threads are when something, a conversation, if you will, is started and people chime in. But on some of the threads, and they're large threads, you'll get hundreds and hundreds of people on there that show their Toyotas with 5, 6, and 700,000 miles. There was a 2000 Tacoma on there not too long ago, had 900,000 miles on it. Inside is equally as impressive. Check out the bottom of those doors, bottom of the rockers. WeatherTech liners throughout. Underneath the WeatherTechs, there's no issues whatsoever. Come on, work with me. It's about 20 degrees out here, so the Steadicam's not liking it. Non-smoker. I mean, we'll get inside for a test drive in a little bit and I'll show you everything, but all the new keys that were purchased. And this thing is as clean as can be. Once again, bottom of the doors. Rear dog legs are perfect. This truck also has every single factory VIN plate attached to it. These aren't stains, that's just the way the material was last rubbed. I'm not functioning too well out here either. Doesn't make sense that I got a gym compression shirt on. Just beautiful condition, regardless of miles. Let's get down there. Got all your nettings. I mean, just apologize for the filthy carpet. It's literally looks brand new. Same thing underneath. These areas up in here, usually these trucks get nice and funky up in here because water can sit if they're left outside. No issues whatsoever, just spotless all the way through. Same thing goes up here. These are known areas to get super funky and rusty. Factory issue VIN plate. Factory VIN plate. Woo, it is nippy out here. So, I do have to find something to complain about. It does have the all too common dash, but over there you're getting pretty lucky because it's right on the crown of the bezel. All books and manuals, obviously. We have all the service records as well. These seats are in phenomenal condition. And just check out how clean everything is. Alright, we're gonna get in this thing quick and turn the heat on and go for a drive. So when I originally bought this, I paid what I paid for it, and I sold it to my buddy. And the whole time that this isn't the type of vehicle that he normally buys, even though it's a great vehicle. So also, obviously, 4-wheel drive. Every single thing works perfect, and we're gonna put that heat on as well. So I bought it the first time and sold it to him, and so when I bought it back from him, I paid nearly triple for what I paid for it before I sold it to him. Well, pretty close. Maybe not triple, but more than double. And that's because of everything that he did. And I obviously see a ton of value in that. And all Toyota owners see value in that as well. So, and it is by far, and I have no problem stating it, a much nicer vehicle because of all that was done. So what it boils down to, it's lucky for you guys that someone with a whole lot of money spent a whole lot of money on a vehicle, and obviously it's worth what it's worth. Those service records obviously add value, but you're gonna get a truck for a price that doesn't necessarily reflect all the money that was put into it. So the drivability of this truck is 100% flawless, and it should be. All the work that we did to it, all the work that Toyota just did to it, and from steering to smoothness of the drive line to engine performance, suspension, steering, braking, it's all, I mean, the suspension, obviously new shocks, and I think when we had it, we did the front pinion as well, steering rack. I mean, it's just a phenomenal truck. I mean, this thing tracks completely straight. Condition wise on the interior, it's in beautiful condition, other than, you know, the dash, which in the grand scheme of things, not an issue. Stereo's been upgraded as well. I'm not going to play any music. It'll boot us off YouTube for copyright infringements, but we could literally drive this truck for hours. You're going to see the same thing. It's literally a perfect driving truck. All the electrical components inside, from power windows, locks, everything work exactly as they should. The stereo also has Bluetooth with microphone, which is nice. Has a remote as well. Also, I'm about 95% sure the two-way communicator alarm on here has remote start as well, which is really nice. Hard on the brakes. Wheel is super smooth, hand off wheel, other wheels holding the camera. Steering, very responsive, no noises coming from any of the power steering components. Just engaged it in four-wheel drive, and as you see there, it's in four-wheel drive. I'm going to put it in drive. Oh yeah, I can tell the way it's gripping the concrete. It's jerking the wheel as it should when it's on concrete. So that's good to go there. Put it back in two-wheel drive, and bam, out. There was no hard clunks or shifts between two-wheel and four-wheel drive, engaging and disengaging. So like I said, guys, it's gonna be hard to find a nicer one than this. I have a large family, a lot of kids in my family, a lot of teenage drivers, a lot of college drivers, and my aunts and uncles and relatives obviously come to me for vehicles for their children. And every single one that has ever come to me, hey, we need a car for Christian, we need a car for what should we get? I either say, okay, well, you know, you want a car or SUV or whatever. And anytime it's an SUV or truck or anything, every recommendation, and we're a big Jeep dealer, but I recommend a 4RUNNER. That's what I and you know, if they have a $10K budget versus a $20K budget, whatever, if they have a lower end budget, you know, I'll start to show them 4Runners with, higher mileage. And, for ones that aren't familiar with Toyotas or 4Runners or cars in general, they'll say, well, I don't want to get one with that many miles on it or whatever. And I explain to them, I'd rather have my family member or my child in this example, a 250,000 mile 4Runner that has been serviced and owned and, everything done right, than a run-of-the-mill SUV with 100,000 miles or even 70,000 miles. Especially if I'm able to spend time with that 4Runner and know that it's worthy. And obviously, if you guys are looking at these, I'm sure most of you guys fit in that category as well. But all right, so we're gonna wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this on YouTube, this video alone isn't our advertisement. We get some comments from time to time asking for other bits of information, whether it's price. We don't verbally put a price in our video for multiple reasons, but some things need to be explained. If we change the price, we gotta go in and edit a video and all that, and we don't have time to do that. So if you're looking for price, VIN, pictures of the undercarriage, additional information, go to our website. That's what our website is for. Ask questions on our website, on our email. We don't respond to questions and comments on social media. Just to be honest, we really don't have time for that. We just use YouTube to host our videos. So if you're serious about this truck, call the dealership. Don't post a comment. If you want to post a comment about the truck and your opinion of it, cool. But if you're looking to have us answer a question as a potential serious buyer, please contact the dealership, 855-955-3377. You can also email us, sales@davisautosports.com. Thanks for viewing and have a good day.